Erev Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Berachot. We're up to Perek Vav Mishnah Bet. The Mishnah writes, Berach al perot Tailan boy pri adama yatsa. If a person recites on the fruits of a tree, boy pri adama, blesses Hashem who made the fruits of the ground, yatsa, he's yotze, because the Mefarshim say, Kivan sha'ilan sha'alav gidelim perot, since the tree which the fruits grow upon, inikatom min haaretz, it gets its nourishment from the ground. Included in boy pri adama is this tree that grew and produced the fruits. Therefore, if you made boy pri adama on a fruit that grows on a tree, you are yotzeh. Now, just to explain, what does it mean a fruit that grows on a tree, and what does it mean a fruit that grows on the ground? The Rav writes like this: anytime when you remove a fruit from the branch will still produce fruits the next year. The next year, you don't have to do anything. You remove the fruit from the branch, and now the branch will continue producing fruit. Mikre ilan, that's called the tree. On that fruit, you make boy pre'etz. However, anytime you're going to take a fruit, and now the branch dies, it does not produce fruits again the next year, you have to replant. And those fruits you're going to recite ha'adama, which a lot of times is applicable to the ground, right? Because you're going to have to re-sow, replant. However, if on the fruits of the ground you recite ha'etz, lo yatsa, if you take a potato and say boy pre'etz, you're not going to be yotze. Why? Because the ground does not get nourishment from a tree. You take something goes in, you say, thank you Hashem for making the fruits of a tree, but you're not eating the fruits of a tree now. You're eating the fruits of the ground, the potato. Now the Gemara Masechet Berachot on page 48 asks, obviously, like we just said, it's very obvious logic. You cannot make ha'etz on a food that's really ha'adama, because the tree doesn't do nothing to do with the ground. The Gemara writes, this teaching is really coming for Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda holds that the etz adat that Adam HaRishon partook of was chita, was wheat. Therefore, you would have thought if you're going to make a ha'etz on chita, on wheat, which Adam HaRishon, it was on a tree, you would have thought you are yotzeh, even though you said ha'etz. Comes the Mishnah to teach us that no, regarding blessings of Berachot, the chita is going to be considered boy pri adama, and ha'etz will not exempt it. The Mishnah ends off, an kulam, on all foods, im amar shakol yatsa. If you say shakol, you are yotzeh. Now, we're going to see shakol in the next Mishnah is an all-encompassing blessing. The Rav writes, what does it mean, ad kulam? Even afinu al pat v'alayayin, even on bread and wine, which we learned in the previous Mishnah, are unique. They have their own unique blessings. Even on those, if you say shakol, you are yotzeh. However, miu lechatchila, you're not allowed to eat any food, any fruit, unless you know specifically what the proper blessing is on them. You cannot just take a fruit and say, I'm going to say hadama because I'm yotze anyways. You have to always be mevarer, unless it's a safek, because you don't know what the essence of the fruit is, or like in halacha where we have a doubt about a banana. Unless it's those cases, you always have to be mevarer, you always have to investigate what the proper blessing is and not rely on the shakod or on the hadama. That is the end of Mishnah Bet Rabotai, Mishnah Gimel. Al davar she'en gidulo min haaretz, on anything that does not grow and come from the ground, like meat and fish. Omer shakol, you recite the all-encompassing blessing of shakol ne'abadvor. Same thing, mushrooms and truffles, the poskim write. Why? Because mushrooms and truffles don't grow from the ground, they grow from moisture. They can grow on moist vessels, they can grow on pieces of wood, therefore on those you make shakol likewise. On vinegar, which the Mefarshim say, we're not talking about vinegar that's so intense it's dangerous to drink. We're talking about vinegar that it's you're able to drink it, it's not so strong, or it's diluted with water, but on that you make shakol. But if it's really dangerous vinegar, very, very strong, dangerous to the body, that you don't make any blessing on. Now, al chometz, on vinegar, v'al and on unripe fruits, v'al govai, and on kosher grasshoppers, omer shakol, you recite shakol. Look at the Rav, novlot, perot shenaflu min ha'elan, fruits that fell from the tree, kodem shenitbashlu kol tzorkan, before they ripened, govais, chagavim, terim, kosher grasshoppers, On these you make shakol. Ala chalav, bala gmina, bala bitzim, amar shakol. On milk, on cheese, on eggs, you recite shakol. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda comes and argues on the first halakha of the Tana, on the second halakha of the Tana Kama. Kol shumin klala en mevachin alav. The Tana Kama wrote that on unripe fruits and grasshoppers you should shakol. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Anything that comes from a curse, you do not bless on it at all. And the Rav writes, novlot begovai al diklalahem baim. Unripe fruits and grasshoppers come through curses. Therefore, Rabbi Yehuda writes, on those you're not going to make shakol. Then the halakha does not follow Rabbi Yehuda on unripe fruits and on kosher grasshoppers, which we don't know the misoret today for what's kosher grasshopper. You will recite the blessing of shakol niya bidvaro. That is the end of today's Mishnah. Rabotai, Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.